What's up guys, PiePop101 here. Today we're going to be doing something very fun and showcasing my favorite anime mods for Blade and Sorcery. This includes weapons, spells, maps, and everything in between. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so right now I'm in the market. Normally I make all my videos in the arena, but I wanted a little bit more space so that I can be in here and then outside of the market, just because some of these are incredibly large scale mods. For example, the very first mod on this list is we have Frieza's Supernova. So all we need to do is pull the trigger and then holy cow. And just so you guys can see me a little bit better, take a look at this. And then we just chuck it and then boom. Okay, and just to showcase how truly powerful it is, spawn army. Spawn army. Spawn army. I'd say that's enough, guys. So let's check this out. How truly powerful is Frieza's Supernova? And I think I'm going to do it from right here, just so you guys get a bit of a better view. Absolutely enormous. Oh my gosh. And then everybody just gets obliterated. I wonder if it works on a small scale too. Clean up. Okay. Spawn army. Here we go. Okay. It'd be kind of cool if we could customize it. One other really fun thing though, is that once you shoot this out, you can actually control it with telekinesis. So, these guys are about to attack you, well, you can also chuck it a heck of a lot faster when you use a mod like Better Telekinesis, or any telekinesis mod, really. And I will let you guys know, using two of these at once is incredibly overpowered and so much fun. For this, though, I'm actually going to step right outside. Just because of how gigantic this is going to be. Are you guys ready for this? When the two supernovas collide, it is so awesome. Holy cow. Such an incredible mod made by Genix, but also, while we're on Frieza mods, why don't we take a look at the other one made by Genix, which is, if I can find it because I have quite a few, Frieza's Death Beam. So in order to get this one working, all you need to do is pull the grip, and then the trigger, and you shoot out Frieza's Death Beam directly from your fingertip, just like the Supernova. And this one is a bit special because there's actually a bunch of different customizations for it. Okay, so we have these three guys right here. Let's make sure to select the Death Beam on both hands and grip, trigger. Huh, okay, that's a little anticlimactic. Okay, and it's really that simple. You can just pull the trigger and shoot out the Death Beam as many times as you want. Or, if we go to traditional cast, instead of doing the grip first, what you do is just trigger, and then you launch your hand out. Now, this was the original way of firing this spell, and I had made a video on it in the past where I had commented that I didn't like that because it's kind of tough to aim the grip first. It just makes it so much easier, because we can just aim directly where our pointer finger is at. I also really just love the way this looks. I wonder, can it work from this close? That's cool! Oh my gosh, I didn't realize it did that. Good to know. And while we are on the topic of Genix's awesome anime mods, we have Krillin's Destructo disc. This one, I'm actually going to head back into the market just because I want a little bit of background. So take a look at this. Spawn army. It's exactly what you... Oh, look at that. They were cuddling. So, it's exactly what you think. We have Krillin's Destructo disc right here. All you need to do is aim your hand, throw it. It has the proper sound effects and decals too. And I also absolutely love the fact that it grows and it puts decals on whatever it hits. So if I do it like that, it not only does decals on this part, but way back there on the wall. And I know you guys are curious, well, what happens when we hit enemies with it? Well, you can dismember them. Just wait. It gets very, very overpowered very quickly. Just check this out. You shred them into mincemeat, it's not even fair. Just check this out. Oh, looks like she's waiting for a finisher. Well. Oh man, that's so cool. But I have to let you guys in on a little secret. This is my favorite part of it. So, I'm gonna do is get our spawner spell right here. And I'm gonna try to hit as many of them in the head as I possibly can. Just one single long dismemberment line. I don't know how well this is gonna work, but we're gonna find out. Okay, so let me practice real quick. Okay. Go. Let's try it out. Holy cow, I got all of them. And that was on the first try. Oh, looks like one survived. Well. Huh, look at his face. So shiny for some reason. Oh, now he's dead. I absolutely love these mods. I gotta say though, my favorite is probably Krillin's, just because it can dismember too. And I love that they all have the proper sound effects and everything. It just makes them very authentic. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. A tiny supernova. How awesome is that? Oh, wait a minute. I think the graphics actually do scale with it. But it looks like only a little bit. So watch this. If we back up. Any day now. Yeah, so they do grow. Okay. I didn't think they did that before. And one thing that I just figured out is if you hold the trigger very softly, it does grow, but only a little bit at a time. And then if you hold it for a long time, you hold it all the way down, it grows very quick. That's actually very cool. And then you can hold it at whatever size you want. Now, next on this list, we have one that I was actually commissioned to make somewhat recently, if I can find it, because I have quite a few. We have the Steel Spell. So, this is based off of Gagil from Fairy Tail, and Spawn Dummy.
What's this?
Okay, so we select the Steel Spell in both hands, you pull the trigger, and your arms, your whole body actually, just becomes steel. So take a look at me. Very, very cool. And not only does your whole body become steel, but... And if we take this lady's weapon, notice our hands are actually made of iron as well. Then you pull the trigger and you go back to normal. Yeah, that's cool and all, but there's actually a couple more things to this mod. So let's say you're fighting a mage or something, or an enemy is attacking you. So if I wanted to find an enemy like this right here, all you need to do is pull the trigger, throw your hand up, and you actually get a steel wall. What the heck? He can use Frieza's beam? That's actually really cool. I didn't realize they could use that. Okay, but as you could tell, she's trying to use lightning on us, and our wall is protecting us. If she tries to throw fireballs at us, same exact thing. Oh yeah, she's way gone. If we select it in both hands, I'm just gonna spawn two enemies real quick. Select the Steel Spell. If we pull the grip, we actually get Gagil's Steel Sword, which we can of course use to attack enemies, impale them, cut their limbs off, and, you know, fight them. But let's say you're fighting an enemy and oh no, you can't reach them. So aside from being able to use the Steel Spell in both hands and fight while you're completely covered in steel, if you merge it together, you actually shoot out a steel ball projectile, which attacks enemies, it can stick to them, and mainly just knock them back. Oh, looks like he's still alive. Well, why don't we just take care of this guy real quick? To your doom, my friend. Now, I've only seen a little bit of Fairy Tail, but I think that does it justice, at least for the moment. And I guess this one is kind of considered part of it too, so I'm just going to showcase it real quick. So if we have this dummy right here, the Avatar State Spell. Now, yes, while technically it's a different thing and it's not technically anime, we have water, fire, and then airbending, and also if we throw our hand up we have earthbending. But the main part of it, which I want to relate to Fairy Tail, is Natsu's fire fist, the fire dragon fist or whatever it's called. I haven't seen enough of it to remember. But basically, you punch an enemy, you can knock him back, light him on fire. I think that's pretty good. Not to mention just the Avatar Stay spell in itself, being able to use water and all the projectiles and everything properly. And honestly, if we were to spawn a couple of guys too, my favorite is just throwing your hand up, summoning an earth wall, and then just using airbending to knock everybody back and into the wall. Or let's say that's not your cup of tea. Well, just knock them back like that. But I digress. I want this video to be anime only, not just the animated cartoons. Okay, now this next one is a doozy. There is a ton to it. I'm not going to showcase everything just because of how large it is. That's another video in itself. But we have Trials of the Shinobi, the Naruto overhaul for Blade and Sorcery. If we go into our book, we have 39 different weapons in their own custom mod category, ranging from Itachi's to Asuma's to Hagoromo's, literally everything. And a ton of these have different abilities, like Sasuke Shuriken can get imbued with lightning, and you can also teleport to Minato's Flying Thunder God Kunai, or the Raijin, whatever you want to call it. So, here we are, teleport directly to the Kunai's location. We can also grab and throw it back and forth. We have the Shibuki, which if you do enough force, you actually do a little explosion that knocks back enemies. And one of my favorites, I'm just going to showcase this one real quick. We have the Senbon Needle. So if we use it on this lady right here, we can actually paralyze her, so. Think. So basically everything in this mod is customizable, from all those weapons to, let's see, we have Amaterasu, Itachi's Black Flames. We have the Rasengan, we have a bunch of different forms of the Rasengan. The Chidori, we have Expansion Jutsu, the Rasen Shuriken Fireball Jutsu. Oh gosh, there's so many. We have Shuriken Jutsu. There's a ton of different things in this mod, so I'd highly recommend you check it out. And I'm going to be making another video on it sometime in the near future, just because of how much fun it is. But there are, I believe, over 100 different customizations for this mod now, which includes a bunch of other cool things like I added Shinobi grappling. I don't know if I've ever actually showcased this, but you can disarm and steal the weapon from targets. So I'm going to spawn an enemy real quick. Stop time. Okay, now that we've frozen time, it's very cool because if we do disarm, when you're grabbing an NPC's hand and you pull the trigger, if you do disarm, they drop their weapon as you just saw. Or if we do steal, here. Let's pick her back up real quick. You grab her hand, you pull the trigger. Not only does it disarm, but you can also steal the weapon from them. Start time. Yeah, there you go. And I also did update the voice command mod, so when you freeze enemies in time, it also freezes particles. So for example, if we use Frieza's Supernova real quick, stop time. Okay, time has been stopped. And also, look at that, the birds in the background, they stopped too. That was my main reason for adding this, I just thought it was cool. But Frieza's Supernova, it freezes, and then all the particles along with it are frozen. This is a shader, so it's not actually going to get frozen, but what happens if we do the explosion? Check this out. The explosion is frozen in time too, which I think is super, super cool. But anyways, we are getting into a whole nother mod. Definitely not part of this video, but I just wanted to showcase the Shinobi grappling. There's also auto-targeting, auto-force, teleportation, a ton of different things that I highly recommend you check out. Not to mention, we even have Itachi's Crow clones. Yeah, so this mod has everything you guys are going to want in it, if you're a Naruto fan. But now we are going on to Ways of the Shinigami. So we just went over Naruto. This is my enormous Bleach mod. Although it's not as big, not yet, but we're getting to it. So all we need to do is go to our book, go to Ways, and then we have a bunch of different weapons. So first off, we have Kenpachi's Shikai. And I'm going to go over the majority of this one just because it's a bit smaller. So Kenpachi's Shikai, you can of course hit enemies, dismember like normal. And then one special thing is if you hold the spell button while you're hitting an enemy, watch this. So, you dismember their entire body into little itty bitty pieces. And it's not just that, it's the same with all of these. They all have their very own abilities. So, Tensa Zangetsu, you hit an enemy, they just get knocked back. Still pretty cool. With the Transcendent Tensa Zangetsu, they get knocked back, but also dismembered with a little explosion on collision. I figured it was something a little bit extra to add. We have Yamamoto's Bankai and Shikai. When I completely finish the Bankai, I plan on removing it from here, because if we go to the Shikai, if you hold it for a certain amount of time, you hold the spell button, just wait, those particles play, and it actually transforms itself into the Bankai with several different abilities. So of course, we can hit the enemy. If we press the spell button, this is, I believe, Bankai East. You hit an enemy, they get exploded back. Explodes on contact with everything. Bankai West lights everything on fire, including NPCs. And then finally, this last one, which I believe is Bankai South. When you're holding the weapon and you stick it into the ground, every second it spawns a certain amount of NPCs. This will be skeletons at some point, but at least for now it just spawns the enemies. Now it's supposed to summon the souls of the dead, so I figured skeletons would be perfect, or at least undead allies, but it doesn't really make sense because they look normal now. So as soon as I can add in my own custom characters, and it's a lot easier than it currently is, that's what I'll do. And then Zangetsu, same thing. Hold the spell button, your hand vibrates, and after a second, we have Ichigo's Bankai. Cha! And the other cool thing is that you can also grab the blade and just chuck it at an enemy too, so simple as that. Yeah. And the last one on this list, we have his original Zanpakuto. Check this bad boy out. Now, I've been told that this isn't the right size. Apparently, it's supposed to be a bit larger than this. So let me know what you guys think. But yeah, I think it does the job perfect. Now, that is Wager the Shinigami for the moment. I don't know if I plan on adding Seros or any of the spells or abilities that they have in it. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comment section. But one that I'm sure none of you have seen, because I recently did this as a commission, it is the Super Saiyan spell. So I'm actually gonna move away from this real quick. If we hold the trigger in both hands, we can hear the Super Saiyan audio, and watch this. After 3 seconds, you start to change and transform into whichever Super Saiyan form you could possibly want. Hold the trigger again to turn it off, and then if we let go at, it really doesn't matter. Wherever you let go of the trigger, that's the Super Saiyan form that you're at. So here we go. We are much faster, much stronger, do more knockback, and we spawn in a couple of NPCs so I can show you real quick. Watch this. Oh my gosh, on top of the house too. Now that's funny. If that's not what you want, let's try this out again. Not only can you go yellow, red, blue, and silver, but you can also go pure white for Ultra Instinct. Check me out. And just, I think this turned out very well. Oh my gosh. It's not even fair at this point. Hello! Have fun down there, pal. But yeah, that is the Super Saiyan spell, a new commission that I've worked on. It will be on VRG soon. I don't know if I plan on putting it on Nexus, because there's still a couple of things that I'd like to work on here and there, but let me know what you guys think about this. And the last one, the main reason why we're in the market map. I'm going to go over here, and you guys are going to understand, so just wait a second. What we're going to do is spawn in a bunch of... Oh, okay, looks like the spawner spell doesn't work. Spawn army. Spawn army. Okay, I think this is enough, guys. So what we're gonna do is actually another one of Genix's mods. And I don't know if this is what the mod was originally made for, but it is, I think, Madara's Meteor. So we have a Meteor fall. You hold this, and then you aim where you want the meteor to hit. So in my case, right there. And if we back up, a meteor comes and absolutely obliterates everyone. And let's just do this one more time. And you can even see it right there, and boom, obliterates everybody. But I believe that is it for this anime mod showcase. If you guys like these mods, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. Thanks for watching.